Hey, this is Dr. Pam Perry. We've been rolling with Speakers Magazine and Black Speakers Network for about 8 years, almost a decade of doing this because we bring you the best, the brightest, the boldest speakers on the planet. And today is no exception. We have Dr. Stephanie Wall, who is the cover for Women's History Month. She's got something to say. Literally, she got an event around it as well. So Stephanie Wall is our guest today. And I will say, just in full transparency, we are having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. She's coming in, she's coming out, but that's not going to stop us because she is bold. She's a leader. And let me tell you, one of the things about Stephanie is she's hailing from the DMV area. She has an event on March 21st. You can kind of see this here. And I met Stephanie, I want to say a few years ago, and I just admired her boldness. Her nickname is Tower of Power, if that gives you a little bit about it. She has been in the police force. She is leading women. She is doing this event with a lot of other women, some of them Wyvitra. Uh, um, Okay, now my Wyvitra. So you'll know if you just say the one name, you know that somebody is a brand. You're doing it with Gloria. Okay, that's one brand, but Gloria Mayfield Banks. She's doing a panel, and really it's about unmuting your voice. And that's what she says. She says, your story deserves fame, your voice deserves a stage, and your impact is waiting. And we're waiting on her impact for her to come in right now so that we can go through that. But what we'll do right now is that we'll go through the magazine until she comes through, and then we'll learn her backstory of how she got to where she was and why it is that she feels it's important to do this event during Women's History Month. She is a Speak Sell Shine alumni. So she was at the Press Club last October, and she was on the stage at the Howard Theater. And she has done this actual photo was done by Jeff Brooks at the Speak Sell Shine event as well. So you can kind of see that. Shout out to our photographer, Jeff Brooks. And so now we're going to kind of go through the magazine here until Stephanie kind of comes back in. Listen, we're going to roll with it and rock with it, right? That's the thing. So this first page is talking about attention speakers. It's by Speaker Match. And aside from what the name is, they're matching speakers, but you really get a lot of SEO and you get a lot of what they call AEO, whereas I guess you would say it's when you put in the AI thing and you're looking for answers that are artificial intelligence answers, that your profile will pull some of that information. So if you put in your information, what are your speaking topics, your bio, your speaker reel, you put in who you've worked with before, some of your client testimonials, it will match you. And event planners will go on and look at this. White and Black, it doesn't matter. It's all nationalities on here. In the United States, it's 25 years old, and it is a good place to start when you're looking for gigs. You can go in and look for the gigs, or you have emails sent to you and the gigs come to you. Or you will just have what they call those random people that will look for you and find you on Speaker Match. So my link right there, it's a bit.ly, it's Speaker Match 2026, or you could scan the QR code, but it is so affordable. So it's like, oh my God, I need to go with the Speakers Reel. You don't have to go with Speakers Reel, just go with Speaker Match. This will be one of those first things in your toolbox that you actually need. The other thing that you actually need is the podcast. Get out there, get known. I really talk to my media friends and my PR friends about how to get out there, get known. That is on all podcast platforms. It's on Apple, it's on YouTube, it is on Spotify, it is on a place where you get podcasts. Just put in Get Out There, Get Known, Pam Perry. And then Ready, Set, Go, Speak is a community. It's a community that is a year-long community. It's like a part mastermind, part mentoring, but every single week. And I went through this yesterday. I went through some of the replays that we've had over the years because it's about 4 years old now. And I was like, I'm just give you all a tip. This right here, the Ready, Set, Go, Speak, even though it's a private community, I was like, I could pull all this information and make a book. AI is wonderful. And I was like, because I looked at the notes and I was like, oh my God. I said, this is because not only was it a mastermind, but I also teach and give lessons and we have guest speakers and things like that. It is phenomenal. And I'm like, the Ready, Set, Go Speak. What we do is every week we give you speaking opportunities that we share, awards that we find out that you could apply for, and of course, media opportunities. Media opportunities that people who are looking for people for subject matter experts. And really, one of the things we do is we train you, we give you some media training, we give you tips, we look at your brand, we do an audit and say, hey, you need to change this, or maybe you need to get on Substack, or maybe you need to get off Facebook and get on LinkedIn. Each one is individualized. So readysetgospeak.com is that brainchild of mine that I have had in my brain. Like, if I were just starting out in speaking, what do I need? Yeah, I do need some courses. Courses are included. Yeah, I do need some information. That's in there. I need some contacts. Yes. I need community. Yeah. I do need some resources. That's in there as well. So everything that Pam Perry has in her brain or has had over the last 2 decades or so of working in this field is in Ready, Set, Go, Speak. And it's a small group. It's not hundreds and hundreds of people. You can't hide in the back of the class. Okay. You can't hide in the back of the room. You do have to come in. And every Friday, we also have live meetings. So every Friday, we have live meetings where we come together as a community. We talk about what we're working on. We talk about what we need help with. I set you up with other resources that you need. Maybe you need to be a part of Black Speakers Network. If they're not a part of it, I was like, you need to be a part of Black Speakers Network. They have a call for speakers. You need to be a part of that. So that is what Ready, Set, Go, Speak is. And then the podcast. And all this is really trying to help African American speakers to really get out there, get known. That has been my mission for the last few decades of really doing that, working with a lot of speakers, whether it's Willie Jolly or working with Les Brown. There's been so many people who are aspiring, those that are Hall of Famers like Dr. Delatoro McNeil. Shout out to Dr. Del, who recently lost his father. And so, and also to working with other groups as well, collaborative. One thing's about us as African Americans, we are collaborative, we're not competitive. So whether it's Black NSA or Black Speakers Network or any other organization that we want to work together, it is so that you can really maximize your particular field and get your voice out there, because you're always just one connection away of where you need to be. You're just one connection away. So you need to know how to really get into the areas where your people are. Get to where your people are. If you notice, get out there, get known as Red, Black, and Bling. Right on with you folks. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Honoring Women's History Month. The next page, I talk about some of the women that are some of my sheroes. You see in the middle of that, there we go. We see Stephanie coming in. You see Michelle Obama in the middle of that. And, make it a little game. Like, who are those women that she had pictured in there? You see, obviously, Rosa Parks and that kind of thing, but there's more women in that. And you will see in there Dorothy Height and that sort of thing. And then really this particular page talks about who and why we celebrate women. A lot of women are coming new into the speaking field. That's why Stephanie Wall is talking about, she's got something to say. I won't say new, but like they're more professional women. Like if you look at the NSA Hall of Fame, most of them are men. I will say that most of them are men. There are a few women, but most of them are men. And so not taking away from the men, but the women is like, our time has come, and Stephanie is leading that charge. Okay. Another lady, I talk about Black Door Society, which is a group where Black women come together to open doors of opportunity and wealth for each other. It's out of the Washington, D.C. area. And Sharon Morton is a founder, but one of the members is Dr. Teresa Mosley. She's a peacemaker. And one of the things is that she is all over the globe. When I tell you, literally all over the globe, doing her thing. And she can be in India, she could be in Japan. I can't even, she's in London, and she's getting awards, and she's sharing her expertise. And she is also a U.S. Ambassador as well. She's a Presidential Lifetime Achievement winner. She's written so many books. She hails out of Prince George's County. She's a former educator. She has advanced studies at Harvard. Yes, she has. And also Yale Child Study Center. So her expertise and her story is so, so rich. Dr. Teresa Mosley, I just love her. A peacemaker leader calls when it's time to shift. And right now, we need all the peace we can get. not just peace in the Middle East, but we just had something happen the other day in West Bloomfield. Okay, that was horrific. Nothing, no children were killed or anything, but someone crashed into a synagogue and they tried to take people down, but they took him out. Okay, so peacemaker is what we need right now. The next page is also some Black Door Society ladies. We have Dr. Andrea Boudreaux, and she is actually right now in Ghana. She's taking her mission over in Ghana, but on April 11th, she's doing an event called the Black Women's Maternal Health. It's a virtual event and it's presented by Black Door Society, which is Sharon Morton is one of the founders. And she are again, we're opening doors that change trajectories. That's one of the main things there. But read about these ladies, and if you kind of hover over that, Monet, over Sharon's page, yeah, you'll see that there's videos in there. So I forgot to say that there are videos in each one of these. They are videos. So let's see if Dr. Stephanie could come in. She is working it out. You know what? She is so unflustered. I'm just loving Dr. Stephanie. All right. So
let me tell you something. We will not be denied. We will not be denied. Technology will fail us. This is for my speakers, for my people in the world. I don't care what technology. Listen, your laptop fail, your desktop fail. I don't know what's going on over here, but I said no in the precious name of Jesus, and not going to be denied. We got phones. Pull up the link, and what I did. Okay, I am here. Come on, will not be. Look
talk
at me.
about the phones now. We
Huh?
could. I love that cover in the background, Miss Ma'am. I love it. I love it. Listen.
They do not call me.
I was not concerned. I was not concerned because I said Dr. Stephanie is a leader's leader. She knows how to work it out. I said it is not going to be a problem for her. The only thing I just want Monet, maybe our producer, just kind of help her with her background feedback, noise cancellation, maybe do something with
Let
that.
me see what we can do. Let me see, because listen, all things are possible. Let me tell you right now, maybe press some buttons here. Let's see.
And that's it. I want to just tell you, when you are a speaker, and especially this is live. This is live. This is authentically me and Stephanie. This was not rehearsed. And so I told her, I said, if you go in and out, I said, I can carry it. I said, but I know you're going to come back in. And she figured it out. I didn't tell her to go on the phone, but she figured out that's what leaders do. They don't get flustered. They just keep it moving. And listen, the story that was written on her, let me read you this last part because that is really, really key. The 1 Million Lives Transformed movement reflects a philosophy at scale. It is more than a brand. It's a call to courageous leadership grounded in clarity and execution. So she's about execution. Dr. Stephanie is cultivating a global community of women who understand that authenticity, which is what she is more powerful than approval, and that action creates alignment. Okay. Her stage presence is polished, yet her authenticity is what resonates. Women lead her sessions not merely inspired, but activated. Okay. She will activate you. And really, the next chapter rarely announces itself as the perfect time. It begins when a woman decides she is already equipped to move forward. That is Stephanie. Okay. She's an activator. So she's going to get it done. She's going to get it done. And you see, I'm going to red in honor of your sorority. Okay.
Come on now. I receive it. And I think, and where is my red? Listen, I just came from a whole mother-daughter breakfast, and I walked in with all this blue on and fabulousness. They were like, well, all right, no red today. I was like, listen, in my heart, I believe it. They tell me that when it comes out, it's red.
It is red. It's red on the cover. It's red on the cover. It's red on the cover.
How's my sound? Because I'm doing the best I can. Perfect.
Sounds good. Yes. I was like, you know what? She is going to come in here, Monet. I was like, we just going to roll with it, rock with it. I said, because she going to have it covered. So what I really want to do, the story really talked about the mission, really how women can sometimes think that moving ahead or really planning, it's really procrastination. Sometimes it's like they won't make a move. It's like, I'm going to be planning. But we talk about the story and what that is about, what you teach women. But I want to know a little bit about your backstory. And so that wasn't written because I knew we would do the interview. So give us your backstory about where you started and what you wanted to do when you were growing up. Like, what was the thing?
And thank you for Dr. Pam for all the things, many things. One, you are a person that not only help people with their visibility, show up in medias and magazines, and all those things, but you also empower us to continue using our voices and standing 10 toes down and who we are authentically. So I appreciate you for that. You know, we all have many, many, many stories. And you know, in therapy, we take folks, or therapists take folks back to where it began.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think back on so many things, that will go right from the beginning. I always go back to the story of my sisters and I when we were, gosh, I want to say like second, third, maybe second, third, and fourth grade. And my mom had been recently divorced from my dad for a little while, and we were moved into this new townhouse, you know, getting this new life. And while we were in there, we were jumping up and down on the bed with our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever the name of the week, on the back of our panties. And the smell of pine sol was emanating all through the house because our mother was cleaning. If you have a mama like I had, that, you know, you have to have that good gospel music on, or some music, some R&B, and they are cleaning, and the whole house smells like it. That day we were like, oh, we just living our best life, and we were jumping up and down. And later on that day, my mom was like, well, she want to introduce us to someone. Now, to us, we were still getting to our mind wrapped around the fact that we were no longer in this other family union.
Mm-hmm.
Then my mom would introduce us to this gentleman and said he was going to be our new stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were young, so we understand what all the thing meant, but what we did know was, okay, she seemed happy, so we were going to be happy.
Okay.
Fast forward, moved up, wasn't a happy situation. He actually every day he was reminded me, hey, he loved my sisters, but he hated me because I reminded him of my dad. And apparently there was something about my dad that he didn't like. Well, you know, in those days, things were interesting, and I didn't know, like many of us. And I'm telling you all this story because I want you to know that we have to go back to where it began so we can understand who we are.
The origin.
In that time, I lost my voice. Now I'm a talkie. They called me. They told me back then that I was too tall. I talked too fast. My voice was too heavy. And all through those years, and he was the one that led that parade of those things. And I believed that about myself. So I shut down and I lost my voice. I stopped speaking. And when I say stop speaking, I stopped speaking for myself. I stopped believing in myself. I started being in relationships that were looking for love in all the wrong places. Fast forward from there, I believe I became a police officer. I was called to serve other people, to save their lives without them even knowing. Before I was called to save their lives, someone tried to take mine. And how many of you know that if you do not, trauma that is not resolved will come back, fast forward, and bite you?
Yes. Yes.
That's what happened to me, Dr. Pam. So I'm sitting there, a whole police officer who's who's on her way to trying to elevate, but I'm not elevating up through the ranks, and I don't know yet that it's all in my mind because I was in the gap of unknowing, right? I hadn't claimed who I was yet. I knew I had all the things. I had got the certificates, I got degrees, I'd done the things, but I didn't yet believe I was who I was because I was stuck in who I used to be.
Mm-hmm. They thought people were telling you too tall, your voice is too heavy, and
I believed every bit of it. I believed, although I knew I could do some things and I had to make a living, I didn't realize this. So I'm sitting in the room, and a friend of mine who I've known for 20 years began to tell her story. And I'm sitting in the middle of all these males because I always sit in the front to pay attention. And these tears are pouring to my eyes, and I can't understand why. They come in and go, and I'm looking like, my God. And I round the room, and in that moment, I said, I'm going to quit this job. And my husband's going to have to also quit because the shame and the blame was too much for me. And when I asked her later on, why did she tell the story? She said, Steffi, I don't know what you are going through, but all I know that my story held me hostage. And I couldn't go from there. And in that moment, I realized I needed to go back and get the medication and finish the whole bottle. How many of you have taken medicine and you started feeling a little bit better? And it says complete the whole prescription. But as soon as you start feeling better, you put the prescription to the side, but then and you feel better for a little while, but then that pain or whatever that thing comes back because you didn't finish the medication. Well, that was me. I didn't finish the therapy, so I never got over all the trauma. So there I was in the running, and here it was spilling all over people that had nothing to do with it. And I knew in that moment that I was going to, something needed to be different. I went on and told my husband I was going to quit. I cried all over the place, and he said, let me tell you something. I know the story. And he reminded me, Stephanie, I know the story. And he reminded me why I became a police officer in the first place. And over the years that I had been a police officer, he reminded me of the hundreds of lives I had changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and I not only did not quit, but I went and got the therapy I needed. I went and elevated up through the ranks, and I brought others up through the rank, and I retired from there. And while I was there, I said, you know what? I'm gonna release this story. I wrote my first book. I wrote my own story. It's called How My Part-Time Job Saved My Life. And I took the story out of the mouths of people who was just trying to have control of me. And from that moment forward, nobody can have the power over you if you release the story, the pain, the trauma. Stop carrying it on.
Yes.
Release it by telling it yourself. And so from there, I found it 1 million lives transformed, because I am on a mission to transform the lives of 1 million women, not just one time, but over and over and over again. And from there,
I love that. That's the thing. When you tell your own story, nobody else can really tell it, or what they call it, pull it over your head.
That's right.
Okay, because now it's like, I've already told it. Okay, I'm over it, and that's the thing. I'm over it. I told it by the book. I'm now at this point. I'm gonna make impact with it, and that's
in
what
the bathroom crying, like, oh God, holding on to the sink with my whole life. Like, how do they know? Do they know? My gosh! And can you imagine? They're looking at me like, because my current husband with my current husband now he also retired from there. They're probably thinking, my God, what is he doing to her?
He's like, I know the story. It has nothing to do with me, but she had to get over that. And that's the thing. When it's like it brightened your light. It brightened your light, and you became lighter, heavier, more bold. You know what you say now. Your voice is not too heavy. It is
sultry. I am not too tall. I am statuesque.
There you go.
Right. Listen, I don't talk too fast. I talk with purpose.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. It's just all about reframing, and you help women reframe their stories and to tell their stories, to unmute their mic and to tell it. And that's one of the things. When I saw you on stage at Speak Sell Shine, and you came at the Howard Theater and you walked on, and I was like, the video is at the front of the magazine too, by the way. You can watch it. You will see that this woman, when she walks in the room, she does change that atmosphere. She ain't singing. She ain't like Tasha Cobbs changing the atmosphere. She's walking in and speaking words that empower people and activate you. One of the things in this story, it really talks about sometimes women are waiting for the perfect time, waiting for total clarity, waiting for every detail to feel aligned, polished, and beyond critique. Sometimes you just got to roll with it. You can course correct as you go. I will promise you this, you will not go if you do not move. Okay. So just keep moving. And that's what Stephanie, that's what you're teaching. So tell me about how you came up with She's Got Something to Say. Because I know you got a lot to say.
Oh, I got a lot to say, but let me tell you something else. More importantly, I got a lot to say, but so does everyone else. Even if we don't know it yet, oftentimes, and it's a big fact, it's not even, it's everybody, every woman, every human has a story. We got many stories. And we've heard it said all kinds of different ways that our story is either somebody else's pain medicine, our story will help somebody else. But the truth of the matter is, when you're sitting on your story, it's like having a good piece of cake, right? Yeah. You got a good piece of cake, you got a good recipe, you got a good product or service. You have something that helps somebody else, but it's no good to the world if nobody knows about it. It's just a great product or service. But I'm going to tell you the thing that really, that just for more and for no other reason, we have to release the story from a place that keeps harming us. I'm going to give you a little psychology a little bit. So the subconscious mind, that soul, right? What we feed our soul, what we're feeding ourselves daily. It's not the story that everybody else is telling us. It's the story we're telling us about ourselves. That gap between the truth, the things that we are, and the things we believe about ourselves. Once we change that story, and when I say change it, is really believe it. Like, okay, wait a minute. Dr. Pam, we got a problem. I want you to tell you this. We as women, not only do we don't think our story is enough and it's valuable enough to tell, but we think we have to keep building on the story. And when I say about that, we keep getting degrees and certificates because we don't never think that we are enough. But we were enough 2 degrees ago, 3 certificates ago, 5 stories ago. We are enough. But I'm going to tell you every single time I tell my story, no matter which story I tell, when I get off the stage, man, woman, child, somebody says, you just told my story. Thank you for giving me permission to be okay with my story.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, there's so many women that I said they're a room full of women who believe, who look like they're happy and look like they're so wonderful and things are good. But we are the walking wounded.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, oh, and we need some healing. And the healing comes from community. The healing comes from people hearing the story. I'm not saying go to tell all your business. And a matter of fact, there's a methodology to tell your story. Because I will tell you, the first time I told my story, my gosh, I took the people down and I didn't know that it was a methodology. I took them down and never brought them back up.
Oh, Lord. That's what they call it, bleeding on everybody. You bleed on everybody. You bled on everybody. It's like,
baby, they were all, I didn't crucify. I mean, I'm talking, I murdered the whole room and I did not know how to recover. So listen, y'all, I'm looking at this camera real good here. So if you're out there and you're in these speaking streets and you are telling your story, and we all have stories, I'm going to encourage you like I did. The moment I bled over everybody, and I want y'all to know I got paid $2,500 to bleed all over the people. They'd already paid me my money. Money was in the bank. And I know that woman was like,
what the heck?
I know she lying.
It's like,
I
where the
know
heck?
she is lying. A whole
We,
room full of realtors. I mean to tell you, in that moment, I said, Dr. Pam, I got 2 choices. I can quit right now because this ain't for me. This ain't my ministry. Or I can go and get the help that I needed.
yes.
And I will tell you that I went into, at that time, I went to the coaching programs that I thought, I said, okay, who do I admire right now who is doing this work? And at that time, the first thing that came to top of my head, somebody who I admire and still do, is Dr. Les Brown. I
Yes.
said, let me go ahead and take his course. I went and took that course. And let me tell you, I was so very proud when you first started it and you're in there with him and he's doing the training. And all I wanted was for him to be, I raised my hand and to try to see if he would say to me, I ain't scared of you. That's all I wanted, was him to say, I ain't scared of you. Because whenever he did the training and you raised your hand and said, you do a 3-minute talk. So I did somehow I got on the stage and I'm one-on-one with him. And I said my 3-minute speech. And when I got done, he said, what you say your name is again? And I
You
said,
sound like you.
Wall. And he said, you know one thing, Stephanie Wall, I'm not scared of you. When I tell you, I said this, I am doing all right. Yes. And
You are in good company, Miss Ma'am. There you go. There you go.
Listen, he indeed is one of my, and has been my hero for a very long time, because he taught me how to, listen, stand 10 toes down in your story. And listen, and not only that, be authentically who you are. Yeah. Stop trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
We've all had the story. Oh my gosh. We all have stories about if you've been in these speaking streets any kind of way, you have a story of you think that you need to sound like this one, that one, the third. My name is Stephanie, and I did that. I thought I needed to sound a certain way. And one of my other mentors, Dr. Gloria Mayfield Banks, was in the audience, and she said, who were you trying to sound like?
She knew you.
I came to see you.
Right.
She said, I don't know who that was. She said, I didn't like it. And this is my good girlfriend. So my feelings was hurt. I was like.
So she knew you, and she knew that you have to be authentically you.
And she was like, that was not you. She said, Stephanie, these people came to see you. She said, that wasn't even you. She said, how did you like it? And I was like, I didn't feel good about it. She said, you know why? Because it wasn't you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I promise you all, listen, you will, if you go back and see some old videos, you might see me trying on some stuff, but you will never see from that moment, after a while, you'll notice a trend as I got older and I started getting, when I say older, in the business, right?
Yes, the video that one that you did with at the Howard Theater was you.
Was me.
Yes, and it was just from head to toe, just captivating people, because you free yourself when you don't have to remember who you're supposed to try to sound like, and all you have to do is just recall. You don't have to like, what did I say before, and is there a certain way I need? No, it's just authentically you. Now it's polished, like I said, it is polished, but it's coming out of a place of This is just who I am, and I'm sharing what God gave me. And you talk about stories. The Bible is full of stories of other people, and they were written by God, for us to be inspired by those stories. So this is nothing new, especially for Black people. That's
Yes.
why I just really love Black speakers. We know that our stories will transform generations, and the ancestors are proud. I mean, they went through, talk about trauma, how we got here. They went through a lot of trauma, and so us learning how to translate our stories or orally tell our stories is so important. It's a whole thing. That's why I love the Black press, Black radio. That's why when we were at the press club, we had the people. Jesus going to be running your story soon. It's just part of who we are in order for our stories to inspire others into action,
Yeah.
into betterment. And I did not know Gloria was your best girlfriend, right? Because she's from Detroit.
Yes, ma'am. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, it's so funny. In fact, she's got something to say event. She's on the panel. Let me explain something to you. You all, I am going to encourage you. There's a couple of things you have got to have in life, and definitely in these business, entrepreneurial, speaker, coach, consultant streets. One, I hope you have some good girlfriends, but more importantly, or just as important, you got to have some mentors.
Mm-hmm.
Mentors who will speak truth. Hear me when I tell you, the folks that are not if they're not in media, if they're not in the speaking, if they're not, someone to speak, they're not in these particular streets, as I like to say. To them, you may be magnificent. But if there's somebody that isn't, if they're in this industry, they'll tell you the truth. Like I will tell you, Dr. Pam, listen, when you go to Howard Theater and you're going through the program, they're just going to throw you on the stage. You're going to practice. You're going to get prepared, and they're going to tweak it and make what you've put together, your talk sound. Listen, make sure it comes through clear with clarity, so that the people that are supposed to receive the message can hear it. That you may, for myself. I've learned, I speak Rapido for my Spanish speaking folks. I know that when I record something, to make myself speak a little bit in cadence, right? In cadence, have some music that you speak to. Even pastors speak to a cadence.
Yeah.
You know how the organists start playing? Oh, that's to help them to be in a rhythm. So
Everybody
find
wants to
your
speak
rhythm.
like MLK or Jesse Jackson. I mean, that's the epitome of like, that's a good speech. Yes.
That's correct. You find your
Mhm.
thing, and while you're doing it, now listen. Nobody wants a monotone person. Unless the situation is called for monotone. Be you. If you say y'all, say y'all. If you say sisters. I'm going to use Tabitha Brown. Everybody's down there. Everybody talking about come on into the room. Even she got me saying it, but I cite my sources when I say it. As Tabitha Brown says, come on into the room. That's another thing. Make sure you're citing your sources.
Yeah.
But let me back it up. You got to get a mentor. Coaches have coaches. You've got to get, everything that we are fearful of is tied to something that we don't have. So if you're feeling uncomfortable about how you are showing up, find out what type of speaker you are. I don't create speakers. I help you to find out what kind of speaker you are. We're all different. I help you to find your voices. I say, listen, find your story, your stages, and your voices. But let me tell you this. There's many, many people that can tell you where to stand, how to stand there, and do all of that. We all know that if you're a hand talker, then put the mic in the opposite, then your non-dominant hand, all those good things. But those are things that many people can teach you. But I'm going to tell you, many of us don't know our why. What's the purpose? What's our style? Because your style is not my style. My style is not yours. If you try to show up on a stage sounding like me, it won't be authentic. You won't feel real, and the audience will know that you're pretending. We don't practice with audiences. But more importantly, does the story elevate others than does it elevate you?
Yes.
Why are you telling the story? Our stories are tied to points. So what are the points that you're trying to make? I'm going to tell you if you are any speaker of any sort, if you're not doing programs such as Dr. Pam's, you are missing an opportunity, not only for yourself, but you are missing the opportunity to bless other people, because it's that information. Once you do it that one time, it's not just for that moment. It's not a moment. It's a movement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be a part of the solution? Are you going to are you going to transform the world by using your voice, your stories, your stages, your presence, your gifts, talents, and abilities? Or are you going to be, as they say, when we all get to the pearly gates, we're going to be going in the room with all those talents and abilities that you had, they're stacked up on the wall, just dust on them because you never used them.
You gotta use them.
I for one, I know I'm clear. Ooh, y'all see this what happened to the phone? Ooh, don't be. Do y'all see this right here? I'm glad. I'm not glad that this happened, but I'm glad, because guess what I want you to know? This is going to happen real life. You're going to have an opportunity to be somewhere, and it's going to mean a whole lot to you. And technology is going to challenge your whole being. And I want you not to give up on you.
That's it. That's it. Don't get flustered. That is so true. Don't get flustered. Don't give up. And one of the things that I read, that you are certified in NLP.
Yes.
Okay. So explain what that's about. A lot of people don't know what that is. And when I saw that, it's neurological,
linguistic. Yep. Neuro-linguistic. So think about this. Everything that we do, and I'd like to everything that we do is tied to something psychological.
Yeah.
And we think of everything as external, but everything's internal. I want to say Steve Harvey said this story one day about how if he wakes up in the morning, he imagines him getting up in the morning and say it's going to be a bad day, right? So he told you told your subconscious mind it's going to be a bad day. So he imagines these people inside of his head rowing. Okay, snap. A foreman says it's going to be a bad day, and everything inside, all the neurons are telling, okay, it's going to be a bad day. So they're working hard to make sure it's going to be a bad day. So everywhere you go, you already see a bad day, but you create this bad day. You go in with a bad attitude. You do all the things. But if you say it's going to be a good day, then if you believe it, I'm not saying no fluff and all these things. I'm talking about subconsciously. If you decide that your body, the neurons, everything, the dopamine, everything changes in the way you show up. If you've ever rehearsed what you're gonna say to somebody, what somebody said when you get to the family reunion, I know grandmama gonna say this, and then I'm gonna say, and then when she said that, then I'm gonna say. That is neuro-linguistics. That is you have really literally worked. You're gonna rewire your brain.
Yes.
It's rewiring I'm not talking about some hokey.
No. It's neuro-linguistic programming. And a lot of copywriters use that because of the way people receive those messages. It's the neurons. It's in our brain. It's basically it's mindset too. A lot of it, but it's deeper than it. Yeah.
But it's biology.
Yes.
It's the biology of how we process. I mean, it is, look certain thing. I wish I had both my hands, because I would show you like some of the things. Like if you think, like an example is if nobody's around, but you feeling so like stress or anxiety, or before you go on somewhere and you need to reduce, you need some dopamine, you need something to make you feel good. I mean, honestly, if you cross your arms a certain way, you grab yourself really tightly, like a bear hug, and just hold on for a bit, just deep breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and like really, and then you release it. You are releasing dopamine. If you've ever had somebody give you a big hug, I'm a big hug giver on purpose.
Yes, you are,
and they almost like rocking you. You will find if you do that, if there's somebody that it's a safe place for you to hug them, and you see that they're going through. If you don't say a word and you give them a big hug and they will cave. They will cave and tears will flow. It's cleansing, but it's also biology. It's something they needed that they didn't even know they needed. And when they do that, not only are they releasing some things, some neurons, then to getting the things they need, but you are also, it's all biology, you all.
Yeah.
I encourage you that if somebody is certified in that one, all my training, and we're before we can begin anything, it starts with the mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's
going
it.
to reprogram what you believe about yourself. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what tools or what things I give you. If you believe a certain thing about yourself and you don't really understand what I'm or the world sees versus what you see, you won't move forward. It doesn't. You could have everything in the world, but your mindset is still the same. So your growth you cannot excel.
I love that. That's what is going to happen, that she's got something to say. This is just a tidbit of it, right? This is just a tidbit of it.
Yes.
I am so excited for you, because this is, why Vitra's going to be there. Marsha's going to be there. So Marsha Evans is another one of your Speak Sell Shine cohorts, as well as Why Vitra. So Marsha is she's a therapist, but came out of teaching, and now she's doing sound healing and yoga. All of those things affect the nervous system, or how we see ourselves. It is, and then listen, Gloria is going to be there as well. It's going to be powerful. That is just
Powerful.
perfect for Women's History Month. She's got something to say. Scrolling across the bottom, go there and get that. She's got something to say. There it is. There it is, right there. So read the story here. You may see yourself in the story as that woman that I'm talking about. What Stephanie really helps women release, heal, and then really just soar. That's really to make the impact. The 1 million lives transformed. That's what this movement is about. And then the next page after that, we're talking about the Leading Edge Network, which you will be on soon. That is something that has been in my heart for a long time, meaning that we're on the leading edge of things. We are the Leading Edge Network. So a lot of the people who are part of Speak Sell Shine and Ready Set Go Speak have their own shows, and it's really for subject matter experts to share their expertise. So the next season, I want your show on, Stephanie, as well. That is one of the main things. You see Natalie is there as well, and you met Kelly Wright as well. He was at the dinner, and then Natalie Solomon, Chris Howell, all of the people, Dr. Maxine, and everybody's story is different. And it's my job to really help connect all of those dots and put everybody together to promote them, because they are all just amazing, amazing stories, amazing teachings, trainings, that kind of thing. Silver Rae Fox, you see, she's got the silver hair. She's a model, she's a speaker, she's a minister. A lot of the speakers that are really doing well are faith-based. So from Willie Jolly to Les Brown to they're just ministers, Simon Bailey, a lot. And actually, I met Dr. Delatoro the first time I actually saw him. He was on TBN, and I reached out to him, and I didn't realize that he was a professional speaker. I just really liked his word. He was a Christian that was really making an impact in the marketplace. So the next page after that, we're looking at some other ladies as well. One of my she used to come to Speak Sell Shine. She'll be here this year. Is Karen Taylor Bass. Now she transitioned from a media personality. I'm sorry, she transferred from a publicist to a media personality who was doing the same type of thing that really Marsha Evans is doing, where she's really helping women with yoga and sound healing and that sort of thing. So it was a transition of her career. She was a person that was with Jill Scott for 7 years as her main publicist and really helping Jill foundationally with her career. And she was in the music business. And so she did a lot of that kind of thing. But now she's really in a different season of her life, and she's doing a reset. Her book is called From Bitter to Better, again, about mindset and that sort of thing. Just to give a little bit of background, she went through a divorce and then really just decided to make a whole shift about how she's going to show up in the world. And so she's moved out of New York and living in New Jersey and having the best life ever. She's on WURD radio, and she has a show every Sunday morning, every day actually. It's called Soulful Sunrise. It's called Soulful Sunrise. And then Valaise Smith just really joined us in Ready, Set, Go Speak, but she has already been on WDIV. She's in this magazine. She is hitting the ground trail blazing, okay, turning financial clarity into business confidence. So her background is finance. So she's helping women with their money, helping them understand their bookkeeping, all the things that women say, oh, I'm just not good at numbers. Well, no, she's gonna make sure that you are, okay? Because if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. So that's all I'm gonna say right there. Then the next page right there is another lady, Jackie Jackson, and she's out of Chicago. Not the Jackie Jackson, not Reverend Jackson, but Jackie Jackson, where she owns a lot of franchises, and she had a really bad situation where it went viral on the internet, where one of her stores was really ransacked with big fight and all this kind of stuff, and just out of something horrific, right? She has turned it around and has really made a difference in that community. Her book is Faith in Action on Building Businesses, Books, and Bold Leadership. Again, a lot of the theme is about people who've gone through things and how they have now stand 10 toes down on what it is. Her book is coming out called When Faith Meets Hustle, right? That's one of the things. And it's about her journey of really becoming a millionaire from starting with one particular franchise and ice cream place, hamburger places, and they're just growing. And a lot of it, she's hiring a lot of people from the community, but sometimes it was not easy. That's all I'm gonna say right there. And so she's gonna talk about that as well. And then the Speak Sell Shine, you'll see this is from the last cohort there. You'll see Melody and all of the other people there at White Reacher there in the center. And then we also had Rashawn there. Rashawn was there, Rashawn McDonald, who is the mentor of the year. And everybody says they need a mentor. Rashawn is my mentor, and he won mentor of the year as well. So that's the thing. And then the last page, obviously making sure that we are going to be in the room for She's Got Something to Say. And give me some more, because I know you added more people to the flyer. So give us a little bit more background about that as well.
All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have the ones. So there's E.R. Spalding, yes, and then there's Christy, and both of them are going to be doing powerful. Christy's going to be talking about the triple threat. You know, we are almost all of us are speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs. You know, we do a whole lot of with author, speaker, and coach, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so she talks about how you put all of them together and be the triple threat. ERs also talks about, you know, the finance of it all, but how when you come on that stage, how you turn your finances around and become the $1 million person or business that you seek to be, and how to get there without all the barriers. She talks about, because, you know, as you said, that if you don't know your finances, you don't know your business. So she kind of talks about that, but she gets deep down and she gives you a framework. Both of them are absolutely amazing. So then, of course, there's awards. You are going to hear for some individuals that are 6 people will be receiving awards, because this event, you're going to hear from women who walked through fire and came out refined, including Dr. Daria Willis and Walvitra. And you're going to be leaving with notes and journals and frameworks. These women who know how to build, and they keep putting themselves out there to help other women. They come from every walk. They are people who are, some of them themselves are introverts by nature, and they know that they have to tap into the extrovert inside of them. It may drain them. They talk about the failures, because this is the truth of the matter. Nobody talks about the real stuff. Nobody likes to talk about the real, that, you know, I may have failed 4 or 5 times. Hey, this is the hard part, but why it's important to continue to ascend. This isn't just another women's event. This is a day to stop playing. This is going to be one powerful day that's going to talk about clarity. They're going to hear from everybody. This is going to be a day to bring back strategy, to move forward, the kind of soul lifting stuff that all of us have been looking for. Yeah. I can't even explain. I'm so moved, because I already know that the women are going to be empowered from the time they step in the door. The moment you walk in the door, the energy is going to shift. There's absolutely no way that you can leave the way that you came in. Everybody, they're from the blue carpet experience. You're going to have Dr. Rhonda Wood is going to be there already with a mic talking to you.
Yes, she's a Speak Sell Shine alumni too.
Yes, she's going to bring, and Dr. Rhonda, you know, she's going to have the questions for you. We're going to feed you. We're going to give you things. You're going to have opportunities to meet and greet. And here's the thing, you know, there is ascension in proximity. You've been watching some of these people you're going to be seeing there. You've been watching them online. You might have seen them in person, in passing. You may have heard about. You might have even been to another event that was a lot larger. But this is kept intimate on purpose, so that you could actually get to touch and hug up on, love on, and have real conversations. Yes. Oh my! You know, I went to I used to go on, I still do, go on the Capital Jazz cruises. And what I loved about the Capital Jazz cruise was the fact that the authors, of the entertainers were on the ship cruising with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got to see them just relax. And they sitting there keying right along with you. And you got to have real conversations. One moment they're on the stage, performing. The next minute, they behind me as my backup singers while I'm singing karaoke. I mean, it's fabulous. So I'm going to tell you, come on out. This is going to be a soul level shift that changes everything. How you lead, how you love, how you show up. I don't want you to miss this opportunity. If you're thinking it's not for you, then you are exactly the person it's for. If you're even thinking about it, if you're even looking at any of this, and you say, but this, I don't have a business. Do you work in a business? Are you helping somebody else lead their business? Are you a manager, a project manager, a director, an executive, a CEO? Are you a speaker? Are you a preacher? You are using your voice to transform the world. And inside, most times, many of us get elevated up through, and we've never been trained how to show up at excellence and who we are. And we're still tied to who we used to be.
There you go. That's true. That is so true.
We don't show up in those places and places the best version of ourselves. So therefore, we can't help elevate anyone because we haven't yet elevated ourselves. We haven't claimed who we truly are. So she has something to say. We give you the framework so that you can stand and you can move toward the claiming. If not immediately, you're on your way to doing it.
I love that. I got one last question for you. So for everyone who is really starting out in the speaking career, like one of the first things that you said, you invested in getting a trainer, getting a mentor. What are some of the tools and things for people that they can get as well? Like, for instance, I talk about Talk-A-Dot. That's one of the ones that I use, meaning that after you give your talk, you put the QR code up there, and then basically people will give you a real-time evaluation. It'll come out in a report. It'll come out in little graphics. It will then also feed them in a nurture sequence to say, hey, do you know anybody else that basically could use me as a speaker? That's Talk-A-Dot.
Excellent.
Yeah, that one I really, really love. And then there is also Speaker Match. I talk about that one a lot, as well as matching speakers. I kind of talked about that. And then also joining organizations like Black Speakers Network. That's one as well. We are partnered with them. We're actually showing on there. So that's one. Obviously being in Speakers Magazine, that's really important because now people can, when they Google you now, they'll see that you were the cover, you're in the magazine, your videos are showing, your reels are showing. Speak Sell Shine, that was one that we did. So what are some other things, some other toolkit type of things that people need to have? Whether it's some software, your favorite software that you like. I like quizzes. That's one of the things. I do a PR quiz for people to see how bookable they are. What are some of the things that you like that have helped you build your speaking business?
You didn't name a bunch of them there, Dr. Pam. So I'm going to tell you one. I'm going to look first and foremost, and then from once you have all this information, it has to live somewhere. So I'm going to say you need to invest in a CRM, right?
Yes.
Somewhere for this information to lay. So I use Convert and Flow. It works for me because I can talk to everyone there. I mean, the chats, it sends the emails, it sends the texts. It helps to keep my website is built within my CRM because you need to have everything in one place.
Yes.
So there's many ones, but this is the one that I use.
And it sends to Texas. So that is
it sends you a text. And listen, not only that, my social media, I can do all of my social media from my Convert and Flow. So all of that lives in the same place. And with that, I'm going to encourage you all to use your social media. If you're using Facebook and Instagram, okay, Meta. So I need you to go into the planner. And if you don't have nothing else, put your plan out, schedule your social media posts. If you are
that'll save your life.
It save your life because you ain't got time to play posting every day. And visibility leads to credibility. You've all heard that before. You gotta show up. You gotta show up. If at the very beginning, I know that you all are thinking about, oh my God, all this money. But here's the deal: you have to invest in yourself. Now, this is quote from Trevor Otts. Invest in yourself at the level at which you expect results. Now, am I saying go out there and just willy-nilly spend money here and there? No, I need you to pray about it. I need you to find the right people like Dr. Pam. They're going to go into programs that see, because some of the things you're looking for is already a package. So instead of doing piecemeal and here, there, and everywhere, find someone who you trust, someone that's like-minded, someone you've already prayed about and God has led you to, and work with that person. And if there's something that you need and they don't particularly offer it, they most likely know somebody that does, that's already trustworthy, that you can connect with. All of the organizations and the things that Dr. Pam has already listed, I would say absolutely do those things. But I'm going to tell you first, invest. If you're not on social media, I know that if that's not your jam and you need some help with it, listen, find people. Myself, listen, I love it. I love it, but I will tell you that you don't have to break the bank. I'm going to tell you that use some of the apps, CapCut, use something, but make sure that your stuff is showing up and you're branding it. Whatever you use, put your logo on it. Put your logo on it. Make sure that it's yours. And that includes those original quotes that are yours. And if you're quoting someone, if you're saying a quote and it's not yours, research it. The Google University will tell you who's belonged to. Please cite your sources. And here there's another thing. If that person is still with us, walking on this side of heaven, and they're on social media, tag them.
There you go. Tag them. That is like a really, really good thing.
Tag them. And then my last thing is that you all have to grow. You want to grow, and whether it's LinkedIn or wherever you are, if you want, and I want to say many people have said it. If you say, "Listen, I'm having this, I'm doing that, and I'm trying to grow up, I'm trying to show up, I want people to support me." If you want people to support you, I want you to do what? Support other people. Before you ask for someone to do something, serve. I promise you, go serve somewhere. Instead of asking someone to, this is how you can say, "Hey, so-and-so, how can I support your event?" What I will give you, if somebody's having an event, say, do you need me? How can I best support? Do you need me to serve in the capacity of physically my person serving you, or would it be best for me just to purchase a ticket and be a participant? However that looks, show up. I promise you it would be reciprocated, because here's the deal. A thing in motion wants to continue to be in motion, and that includes you.
That's it. That is it. You dropped the mic on that one. That is so true. That is so true. I love it. And for any of you all, be a part. Join the organizations. But one of the things you want to do is serve in the organization. Don't just be a member. Be a person that serves, maybe be a leadership over a particular thing. Don't just show up. And one of the things too, Marsha's a part of that group as well. I hope she's doing sound bowl. She's bringing her sound bowl there. Support other people in terms of what they're doing. I think Esther Dillard, she was the year before, was it? Yeah, I think it was the year before. And she just hit 2,000 people on YouTube. And she was thanking people for really subscribing. She asked people to subscribe. She went in Ready, Set, Go, Speak. And she says, "Hey, who has a YouTube channel? I'll subscribe to mine. You subscribe to yours." Because in terms of you need, in order to monetize on YouTube, there's a certain little trick to it. So part of it is getting so many followers, and then part of it is getting so many hours of views and that sort of thing. So she asked other people, "I'll subscribe to yours, you subscribe to mine." And then she hit 2,000. That was just like a simple thing to do. And I said, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to people on the YouTube, at least not yet. Okay, right now that I think pretty much you can subscribe to something and it's free. So you want to make sure you're doing that. And so I want people to know, Stephanie, where they can find you directly. What is the best website for you?
So I would say, okay, so you can reach me at my website is 1millionlivestransform.com. But I want to encourage you, because I will tell you that I want you, because everybody's looking for followers, and particularly if you're looking for followers. So I'm Dr. Stephanie Wall everywhere. Dr. Stephanie Wall everywhere. Every time I see something pop up and tells me that somebody's following me, I follow back. Intentionally, I follow back. Now, if you all here crazy with no pictures on there, I'm not following you. Because I don't know if you're some crazy bot. So listen, be a legitimate person.
Right.
But if you follow me, I will follow you. And I encourage you to do the same. Yeah. The same. And lastly, you see the thing, 1millionlivestransform.com is up there. But if you are in the area of Maryland, and you're available on March 21st and doors open at 9, come on out to She's Got Something to Say. I saw a friend, a person who I've been doing life with forever on social media, met her for the first time. She's also a Delta. At an event today, she found me. We took pictures, which is Leslie Laurel. Leslie was like, oh my God, Stephanie, we've been doing life for 5 years online. And I'm meeting you for the first time in person, and we live in the same state. So, and one of the things that we said we have to do, if you live in the same state with, or even adjacent state with some other people, be intentional about going to each other's events.
Yes, it is.
If
I
we
would
go
say
to each
that.
other's events and support each other's events, man, everybody else would just listen. That by itself, we would not that we wouldn't need other people, but that would we would fill butts in the seats alone. And we certainly can learn from each other.
That is it. I always say that those that show up go up. It really is. You just got to show up. You never know how God is trying to orchestrate certain people for you to connect with, and for certain people for you to connect with them to help them. So it's not always like what you're going to get, but what you're going to give. Going to a certain place, it's like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. You are the answer to my prayer. Wouldn't you want to be the answer to someone's prayer? Because you know God is going to work this same thing out for you. So just show up. Just show up. She's got something to say.com. Or if you can't show up, tell a friend that lives in the DMV area that they've got to get to this event. Okay. It is powerful. It is going to be powerful. I know it is. Stephanie is powerful all by herself, and she brought her best buddies on this as well. So make sure that you go to this event and show up. And when you go, look for ways to serve. And then I promise you, you will also have something come back to you as well. So yes, I am so proud of you, lady. This is so good. You are doing the darn thing. I'm
Thank
just
you.
glad. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Even with the technology, you just roll with it. That's what I'm saying. That's what real leaders do. We will not be denied. So I want to make sure that you get the March issue, Women's History Month issue. There, you'll see other people there as well in the magazine. So you want to make sure that you check it out. And if there is some ways where you can share, hit the share button at the top, do that. It doesn't cost you anything. Share it. It'll come back to you. Okay. So with that, I am Pam Perry, and I am out. God bless you. Thank you all, everyone, for joining us. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.